you can't help but love the people that risked it all to blow the lid off corruption. On the big screen, at least.
Go ahead, sit down.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 whistleblower movies.
So fucking corrupt, everybody, everyone, nobody giving a shit. There's gotta be a way to wipe it out. God damn it, there's gotta be a way.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most critically acclaimed and memorable films that feature characters blowing the lid off corruption, misconduct, and dishonesty by the big guys. Number 10, The Informant.
Mark Whitaker.
Hey, Mark, it's Brian Shepard.
Based on the true story of Mark Whitaker, the highest-ranking executive whistleblower in American history, this crime comedy sees Matt Damon take on the role of the bland and mild vice president of one of the United States' biggest corporations.
The guy's making $350,000 a year, he's moving up the ladder, and he turns informer. When does that happen?
When Whitaker finds out that his company is involved in global price fixing that has cost consumers billions, it's not long before he spills the beans and is recruited as an informant for the FBI.
In large part because of my testimony, the United States government has to date been able to collect over $1 billion in price-fixing fines from big businesses.
But is he all that innocent himself?
Then we are all agreed. Yes!
This fascinating Steven Soderbergh thriller keeps us guessing as Damon keeps us watching.
What I'm about to tell you, it involves something very large. This Nakawara extortion thing is nothing compared to it, nothing at all.
Number 9, Silkwood.
If I tell you, you promise not to tell anybody?
Starring legends like Meryl Streep, Kurt Russell, and Cher, this is the life story of Karen Silkwood, an average, everyday woman who works at a nuclear plant.
You were supposed to work my shift yesterday. Karen.
When the company begins to cut corners and employees begin to work overtime,
I'm not always here, but, we're working double shifts.
Silkwood realizes that the compromises being made are hazardous and that lives are being endangered.
Well, it says here, plutonium gives you cancer. It says it flat out.
However, upon standing up to the union officials, she finds that they're more worried about publicity than safety.
I know what you're doing, and you're the wrong person to be doing it, and it's dangerous.
Streep disappears completely into her role, based on the real-life nuclear power whistleblower, and was Oscar-nominated for her efforts.
I don't know about putting names in the newspaper.
Names aren't the point. The point is that if you're right, they could kill off 2 million people.
Number 8, The Constant Gardener.
And you too, please, gentlemen, thank you. It was kind of you to come.
When Justin Quayle, played by a forceful Ralph Fiennes, finds out that his wife, an opinionated humanitarian and activist, has been slain, he refuses to accept the obvious and begins to investigate what really happened.
My name is Justin Quayle from the High Commission. I believe you knew my wife, Tessa.
As he does so, he uncovers a conspiracy linked to a powerful drug corporation and the local Foreign Office. And as the truth comes out, he finds himself picking up where his wife left off.
I didn't know they'd kill her. Silly sod was besotted with her. But that's the way it works with corporate murder.
Racking up BAFTA, Golden Globe, and Academy Award nominations, this is one drama thriller that'll keep you on the edge of your seat.
I mean, these people, they kill anybody. Sonny! Ah! Have you lost your senses? There was something else. There was a letter. Look, you lunatic. You know what you're doing? You're killing us both.
Number 7, The China Syndrome.
If that's true, then we came very close to the China Syndrome.
The what?
As celebrated for the brilliant performances as for the story itself, this thriller follows a nuclear plant employee, a reporter, and a cameraman who find themselves in the middle of a conspiracy that could potentially kill thousands of people.
But of course, as soon as it hits groundwater, it blasts into the atmosphere and sends out clouds of radioactivity. The number of people killed would depend on which way the wind is blowing.
It all starts when the shift supervisor, played by a hesitant and Oscar-nominated Jack Lemmon, uncovers that an earthquake at the nuclear plant where he works is actually a symptom of something much more deadly.
This is Jack Goodell. We have a serious condition. You get everybody into safety areas and make sure that they stay there.
When a cameraman, played by Michael Douglas, gets involved by secretly filming the control room and records something dangerous.
Routine, huh?
It's up to him, the cautious supervisor, and Jane Fonda's reporter to expose the risk before a meltdown.
But if they ever put too much pressure on that pump, and they rupture those pipes.
It's the China syndrome.
It's possible.
Number 6, Michael Clayton.
Jerry's Michael Clayton.
With the incomparable George Clooney in the leading role, and with Tilda Swinton winning an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress, this film takes us into the dark world of an attorney who doubles as a fixer for a powerful law firm, benefiting his clients with his shadowy business practices.
Don't you know who I am? I'm a fixer. I'm a bag man. I do everything from shoplifting housewives to bent congressmen, and you're gonna kill me?
When a client of the firm he works for is sued after it's discovered to be involved in the production of a carcinogenic weed killer,
I spent 12% of my life defending the reputation of a deadly weed killer.
We had an agreement, Arthur.
Michael must decide whose side he's on and who to believe as the corruption and secrecy spiral out of control.
You, North, what if he wasn't crazy? What if he was right?
Right about what? That we're on the wrong side?
Wrong side, wrong way, everything, all of it.
This is news. This case reeked from day one.
Number 5, Erin Brockovich.
Are you Erin Brockovich?
Yeah.
In a movie based on the real-life Erin Brockovich, Julia Roberts dazzles as the title character, a role for which she won the coveted Academy Award for Best Actress.
They're called boobs, Ed.
Playing an everyday woman who learns that Pacific Gas and Electric has contaminated groundwater and is responsible for many illnesses and deaths, she decides to take on the multi-billion-dollar corporation at any cost.
These people don't dream about being rich. They dream about being able to watch their kids swim in a pool without worrying that they'll have to have a hysterectomy at the age of 20.
Along with the customary Hollywood coupling of romance, comedy, and intrigue.
People are dying, Scott. You've got document after document here, right under your nose that says why, and you haven't said one word about it.
Roberts pulls off the likable character in this whistleblower classic that Brockovich herself has cited as probably 98% accurate.
I want you to think real hard about what your spine is worth, Mr. Walker. Or what you might expect someone to pay you for your uterus, Miss Sanchez.
Number 4, On the Waterfront.
Waterfront Crime Commission, what's that?
Directed by Elia Kazan and based on his own often criticized testimony before the House Un-American Activities Committee, this classic stars screen legend Marlon Brando as Terry Malloy.
I know you got a subpoena. Well, I don't know. It's like carrying a monkey around on your back.
A humble dock worker who stands up to his union due to the rampant violence and corruption.
They're asking me to put the finger on my own brother.
Packed with raw emotion and intense performances, this is one film that honors the whistleblower like no other.
You wonder my philosophy of life? Do it to him before he does it to you.
Often cited as one of the best American films ever, and with a 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, On the Waterfront story and characters stay with you long after you watch it.
You don't understand. I could have had class. I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody. Instead of a bum, which is what I am.
Number 3, Serpico.
You're the one who got caught. Never even got your cock out.
When you're divided between your desire to change the system and the prospect of becoming a squealer, what do you do?
If I could work alone, that's the thing. See, if I could just get work alone. But they don't like that. See, they don't want that. They want to suck you in.
This is the dilemma that faces Al Pacino's Serpico, an honest cop who is horrified to discover widespread dishonesty, bribery, and violence in the New York police force.
Stay the f*** out of this!
After he decides to go undercover to expose the corruption, he finds himself at odds with some very powerful people.
I'm a marked man in this department for what?
I've already arranged the transfer for you.
To where, China?
Praised for everything from its direction to its screenplay to its truthful performances, this crime drama is as compelling as it is hard to watch.
I can't wait for Delaney to call, and I can't play their game anymore. I'm right in the middle. I can't take it.
Frank, you mean to say the commissioner didn't get in touch with you?
No, he didn't get in touch with me. Not a
Frank,
word.
I didn't
No
know.
investigation, no undercover work,
I have
nothing.
no idea.
Number 2, All the President's Men.
Did Deep Throat say that people's lives are in danger?
Yes.
What else did he say?
a political thriller that sees Robert Redford and Dustin Hoffman star as the real-life journalists who helped uncover the Watergate scandal.
How much can you tell me about Deep Throat?
How much do you need to know?
This movie is all about the events that led to Richard Nixon's resignation from the presidency.
I worked in the White House for 4 years, and so did my wife. And what happened on June 17th, I don't think the president knew anything about.
Starting with what seems to be a minor burglary at the Democratic National Committee headquarters, the lies, cover-ups, and questions escalate as the burglar's ties to the CIA are discovered.
It involves the entire U.S. intelligence community. FBI, CIA, justice. It's incredible.
Combining a gripping story with actual investigative journalism, this is one film that captures the true essence of what really happened in the early 70s. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
I'm afraid my firm has behaved in an unethical manner.
Pelican Brief.
No. No, never heard of it.
It's an unlikely little theory about who killed Rosenberg and Jensen.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Okay. Now, what would you even say to Pearson? That we've been sexually harassed? Honey, he'd laugh you out of his office.
Not to mention what the guys would do to us.
Number 1, The Insider. This is the true story of a whistleblower whose exposure of the truth led to a $246 billion settlement of suits against the tobacco industry by every state in the USA.
You never get whistleblowers from Fortune 500 companies. This guy is the ultimate insider. He's got something to say. He wants to say it. I want it on 60 Minutes.
It also happens to be one heck of a movie. Russell Crowe is perfectly cast as the man who blew the lid off the industry's secrets.
We are in the nicotine delivery business.
And that's what cigarettes are for.
Delivery device for nicotine.
A delivery device for nicotine.
And Al Pacino is spectacular as the CBS producer who brought it to 60 Minutes, and therefore the world.
And he's only the key witness in the biggest public health reform issue, maybe the biggest, most expensive corporate malfeasance case in U.S. history.
With 7 Academy Award nominations and one of Crowe's most brilliant performances, it's an inspiring story for anyone who had to bite the bullet for truth, liberty, and justice.
I told the truth. It's not about telling the truth and prove it. It's not the fucking point whether you told the truth or not.
Do you agree with our list? Which whistleblower movies had you cheering for the protagonist?
This involves all kinds of internationals, from military officers to diplomats. I thought I was only going after one guy.
For more great top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
If you ask me, would I do it again? Do I think it's worth it? Yeah, I think it's worth it.